And what I've done is I've figured out what the profile of that finial is and put it on this board, and then I've marked this in increments of 1 inch and certain high spots that are important for me to mark. Now I've put the block onto the lathe and I've turned it around with a roughing gouge, and I've put my end mark here and the other end here, and then whatever is left here will be the part that has the dowel that goes down into the cabinet. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to transfer these marks, just a pencil, go to this line and just touch the turning. Again here, again here. Now what I'm going to do is to come in here and I'm going to cut this off with the bandsaw, draw it out on the paper, and then I'll be able to use my calipers to measure off and give me those thicknesses. So now that I've got my profile cut out of my pattern, I can just clean up some of these little edges with a file to get it nice and smooth as a template to work off of. It doesn't take a lot, just cleaning up those little pieces. Now I can come over here to my pattern and we'll put a center line to work off of. And this is just what I'm going to measure from. So we go from my center line to that line and my center line to this line. Mark it down. And it can be pretty rough, but I'm going to use this to measure off of. And now do the same thing here, lining up that center line and that center line, and tracing the other side. Now I can see what the finial is going to look like. I also can see that this area here is a little too thin. So here's a good time for me to correct that, because it's going to need more body in there. But it's looking good. And now I'll go to the lathe. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by roughing it down. So what I've done is I've set these calipers here to the middle of the top of the acorn finial. And what we're going to do is come over here with the parting chisel, and we're going to start roughing this out. This is the very bottom of the finial, and the way the parting chisel works is it's going to go straight in and remove waste, you'll see here, and just bring it in approximately to the width that we want. So this is just roughing off some of that meat that we don't need. And what I do down here is I try to inset it a little bit so when it sits in the cabinet, the outer edge will touch better. If I were to come in on an angle like this, then you'd see a line there. So when I'm doing this, I work it towards the inside a little bit, digging out. And this will create the dowel in the end that's going to go into the cabinet. This is a pretty nice little tool. You just loosen these two pieces and you put her up here, and I'll set it a little wider than what I need here. So that way we can come back and refine it. But so I just rest it on top of it and I start bringing it in. And the top piece will define how far it'll go in. And all I'm doing is angling it up until I get to that point and keep pulling back. We're just going to work our way down the piece. So we're starting at the bottom. This is that pad where those two lines are, and the center line is the middle of that pad. This is the line at the top of that pad. See, so there's the pad, and this is this next little spot, which should be just a hair bigger than that level. Alright, so now that I know that's the fattest, I'm going to take it all down to that. Starting there. So, there's that. 2. There. Alright, so let's take it down to that. So that's going to be this one. And then I want to shadow. So I need this flat part right there in order to know what this is going to. And so this. Right. This should be right there. Is that pointy part. We know this is the widest point of the pad, and we know that this is a flat area before it sweeps in. This here, rounded to there. We'll go from here. Then we know that's our flat. So round to there. Starts to go in right there. Right here. So this has to go in, so I need to finish this. There. And then over that way. step, round ball up, round ball, there, to the step, so we need to go a little deeper in here. So, good. Oop, further down. So there's our thing. That could come off a little bit, but right here. Take some more off of this. Let's look at that picture of it and see how that stacks up to that photograph in your message.